this is your first feature in English, but also it's a science fiction film in a way. Science fiction can be giant Hollywood blockbusters, but that form can also open itself to more interesting personal explorations, which I think you've done here. Can you tell us what was most interesting about the science fiction genre for you?
I thought what could be worse than to be in the space, a man alone in the space, everybody is dead around him, and it's so far from the solar system that there is no hope for any return, and he cannot commit suicide because he's in charge of that baby that it's his daughter, and of course he cherishes her. And of course he knows it's going to be a tragic situation when she will grow up, because he will be the only man for her, you know. And the situation is like a double jail. They are in jail, they are condemned, convicted, guinea pigs for scientific reason, and surrounded by, in a jail you can always dream, you can smell the rain maybe, or imagine if something happened, maybe I would be able to run away. But in the void there is no runaway, no. And I thought that was the extra jail, you know.
Claire, it seems that you've shocked some people with this film.
Yeah.
Never
I agree. No, but I agree with you. Me, I never thought it was shocking, because I thought in jail people are so close to each other. They can read. I've been reading a text written by an astronaut that said they know their smell, you know. They know exactly if by the smell if someone is sick, you know, because they're so close, you know. And yet it's also, which is not probably for the astronauts that are sent around in the solar system, but for a long trip, then with no hope of return, the sex problem, like in jail, is the main reason to stay alive, in a way, I guess. Yeah.
It's surprising that in science fiction we so rarely see sexuality and procreation as central aspects of the story, because of course you're right, when you are isolated and possibly stranded with no hope of return to your home, these things would become very important.
And they were chosen young to be able to last long, you know, as Monte in the film. So that youth, you know, is full of desire.
Thank you for showing it. I want to open it to you, your questions. We have a few minutes to ask questions of Claire about the film. If you've got a question. Yes.
I also wanted to say that I have decided not to read too much some message about people too shocked by the film. I will read those later when I'm back in Paris. But I think there was no intention, no from me, no from the script, from the people, the crew and the actors, to be shocking. It's like a resume of all the violence that can create the fact to be unchained, you know, forever. That's all.
Well, I hope you do read some of the reviews that are coming in. because they're absolutely raves. People
I'll wait a while. Yeah, positive also because I'm here. I am with the film. Mia left yesterday. Robert is leaving today. I have this feeling I'm a little bit in the film, you know. Soon it will be really finished, but then I will read the good and the bad.
Okay, I think there was a question here. Yes.
Can you talk about the choice for setting it in a certain time, or whether there was a decision made ahead of time when this was set? Because when we talk about space movies, they're usually set in the future or have a certain futuristic element to it.
Question is about when the film is set.
Let's say the left, if, as I said, they are speeding at 80% or 90% of the speed of light, they left Earth like 3-4 years ago, before the films start. I would think it's not science fiction. It's scientifically about time, but it doesn't mean it's the future. If a lot of calculation and preparation are made to decide when it is possible to travel at that speed, what will be the fuel to do it, you know? The energy. These things are already thought by scientific. It's not so much future. It's not yet possible, you know? I don't know. Is it an answer for you? I don't see it. But
I'm wondering if you could talk about your inspiration, your motivation for the story.
Could you talk about your inspiration for the story?
I think I remember when I was at the end of Trouble Every Day, I was speaking with Vincent Gallo, and he was making sad jokes about his loveless life. And I said, can you imagine, I can imagine you being the last man, human alive. And he said, oh no. And I said, oh no, maybe there is a young girl. So I said, ah yes. And it was a joke, you know. But in fact I was serious. I thought, it's like the Robinson Crusoe story in a way, but Robinson Crusoe is on Earth, even if it's surrounded by sea. But space, void, so far, you know. There is not even hope that it will change unless you die, huh? So I thought it was something that preoccupied me since, you know. I love the idea that the solar system is very small, it's very comfortable in a way for us. We have a sun, we have atmosphere, but outside the solar system, really, that's another story to begin, you know. So vast. For me, it makes me, I dream a lot about that.
We'll go over here first, yes.
Thanks for coming and thanks for your films. I just wanted to ask, your films always have such iconic endings, and what are your thoughts about crafting for your ending, and maybe if you could touch a little bit on the ending of this film.
Question is about the ending. Your films always have such iconic endings. Could you talk a little bit about what makes a great ending and the ending of this film? The
thing is, I as I was reading books, learning about black holes, I find there are probably huge black holes where the death you're not condemned to death if you enter. Like everybody knows now that if you enter a black hole, this is finished. There is no more. There is a limit. You can't go over. But now scientific think that if it's big, there is a possibility to enter and maybe reach the after the horizon of the black hole, the point where time and space are equal. Stop. Which is, I say those words, not even understanding what it is. So I had imagined with Olafur Eliasson, this artist who had created this beautiful yellow light. I said, because I don't know what is time and space, and maybe in the yellow light there is this opening of nothing, That's all. So it's not even me who invented it, it's something like that I read, that I learned, What is nothing? When there is no time and no space, I don't know.
That's an ending. Actually, let's go right here. Yes?
Can you talk about the narrative structure of the film and why you chose to tell it in flashback, flash forward instead of in chronological order?
Can you talk about the narrative structure of the film and why you decided to structure it that way?
It's not as if I have a structure in my mind I think that the problem of time was very important for me. And then I thought about it, and I think then I was allowed to start with the man and the baby, and the garden already grown, And I thought if I start like that, then I will be obliged to do a flashback, of course, but in a way, because he threw in away his companion in the void, we know he was not alone. The flashback comes in a way that you already guess there were other people there, And I thought it came very easily, this structure. And I knew it would end when the daughter is almost a woman. And that's made for him and her sort of extra knowledge that maybe it's better to enter that special place with no time and no space, to be together endlessly. I don't know, Even if I mentioned, the film mentioned a taboo at the beginning of the film, it was not in my mind to end with the father and the daughter making love in the ship. No, I'm not joking, it could have been, But the taboo is already there. I needed nothing else, But this end. And the structure came very naturally, I guess. I needed to know a little bit that he was condemned because he killed another kid, over a dog, and we know a little bit about the doctor past, but we know they were all convicted anyway in the death row. So I had the image of them, the hobo train, and the death row. Those images for me were not even flashback, they were like vision of him, like of his youth.
Thank you. Time for just one more question. Is there anyone in the balcony who's got a question? It's a little harder to see you up there, but if you've got a question, please raise your hand. Oh yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So I was wondering if you could speak a little bit more about the prisoner as a starting point and how that relates to the sort of quiet loneliness at the end of the film when we're seeing Robert Pattinson make these decisions about whether or not he's going to go off into the void or remain in this stasis.
Rashmis, could you talk a little bit more about the prisoner as a starting point and connect that to the decisions at the end of Pattinson's character?
I think after Dr. Denis throws herself in the void, he is alone, and I think he has completely forgotten the baby. It does not exist for him, or it exists but like something he doesn't want to consider. So probably it's a moment he's there after by the door of the airlock, and maybe he's considering maybe killing himself, you know. But then he realizes, he goes back to the baby, and then he's hooked by his responsibility. Him dying, this baby is going to die very soon, you know. So suddenly, of course he's smiling, he's touched, but he's also touched by his life has changed immediately at that moment, you know. His life is not of that monk ready to die, with no emotion apparently, and suddenly something big is happening to him. He's responsible of someone. As I'm saying that, and I still feel I've got tears in my eyes because it's something still touched me, you know, to realize a guy like that, suddenly his life is changing forever. Is that the answer?
Thank you so much. Thank you.